In this video, I am going to be taking tomato cuttings and propagating them. During the winter time, I had an Amish paste tomato that I had brought in before the first frost, and so I kept it inside under artificial lighting, kept it watered, and the plant grew multiple shoots, and so now I can begin to propagate this plant. And this video describes the process. So to begin this process, I had some pots of soil. I made sure that they were reasonably damp, and then I made a hole so that I could put the tomato cutting through that. And the soil medium, by the way, again, is that mushroom substrate soil that I had made myself in the garden. And I just used a pencil to make a hole in each pot of soil. And when I was making the hole, I tried to make it as deep as possible. This way, the tomato cuttings, when they root, they can form a really solid root system down that entire length of the stem that is under the soil. Then what I did was I took the cuttings from the parent plant. So basically these cuttings are going to be clones, right? So they are going to be essentially genetically identical to that parent plant. And when I made that cut, I made it on an angle, right? I cut it diagonally. And this was to maximize the area on the bottom of the stem that could take up as much water as possible. I then cut off the lower leaves of each cutting, right, the larger leaves, because I didn't want this to drain the plant. As the plant is already trying to reestablish itself and develop its root system, I didn't want to take any energy away from the plant as it tries to work through that process. Then I just covered each hole with soil and I watered it in. Now at this point, I wouldn't worry about making sure that the cuttings get enough access to direct sunlight, because I feel that limiting direct light for the first 1 or 2 days is going to be beneficial as the plant tries to reestablish itself, and adding in a lot more light is going to create more stress on the plant and make it a little bit harder for the plant to really establish itself. And adding in direct light at this point is just going to cause the plant more stress. But after the first day or two, definitely getting it back in a pretty good light source, right? Easing it in, you know, don't give it too much all at once. And also throughout the first few days or week or so, make sure that the plant has regular and ample water, as it is going to be needing that water to continue to develop its root system and stay alive, right? So it's probably good to check on it multiple times a day. Additionally, I also started some tomato plants from seed that I had, right? This was pretty old seed, so the germination wasn't quite as good as it has been in the past, but I was able to get some tomato plants. Now what I did was I overseeded the pots, right? So now I'm thinning out the smaller tomato plants and I am putting those in different pots in the hopes that I can get as many tomato plants as possible out of this. Alright, so it has been 1 week since I transplanted these tomato cuttings, or since I planted these tomato cuttings into the mushroom soil, the homemade mushroom soil. So of course these 3 plants are, these were the seedlings that I had thinned out. These are not the cuttings, but all 9 others are. You know, at first they were all like drooping over and stuff for the first few days, even a few of them up to almost a week, you know, and now they're standing up straight and look a lot more alive than they did a couple of days ago. Now some of these I didn't just prune the tops off, right, but this is like the bottom part of a branch. Like this one was the top of this, and this was just another section of the plant. And so I'll see if, because it looks like this is forming some roots too on the stem. So we'll see if we can maybe get some new growth at this node here. But they are looking pretty good. I probably won't plant them out until like a week or 2 later down the road. You know, let them really establish their root systems and all that first. Alright, so thank you so much for checking out this video on taking tomato cuttings and propagating tomatoes. I'm looking forward to being able to grow a bunch of tomato plants in the garden, and I'm looking forward to being able to make some really delicious tomato sauce later on in the season. So thank you so much for checking out this video. I appreciate it, as always, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.